G'day guys, I am here with a build video for Remnant 2. This is post-patch tank build. Now, recently, as of, well, less than 24 hours ago, they released a patch that altered the way the Engineers class perk trait worked, Fortify. Thus making most of our builds, tank builds, not so tanky anymore. This is because of how the armor DR worked with the damage reduction. Now, it's not meant to be it's not meant to add to the armor, apparently, according to the devs. So, the damage reduction adding to the armor was a issue that they fixed. Unfortunately, that caused a lot of builds to get absolutely destroyed. Now, this is my attempt at fixing that issue. Because damage reduction is no longer reliable, so this number here is not currently reliable. This is straight from the devs on Reddit. The total DR is just straight up incorrect. We are going to be focusing solely on armor DR, which is capped at 80%. So we don't have to worry about damage reduction. We are just focusing on armor. Now, for my classes, I'm using Alchemist for the additional concoctions and the additional 25% to all damage and 5% crit. We are using the Medic for its amazing increase to regeneration because of its increased effectiveness trait, healing effectiveness trait, and also it also gets a 25% increased all damage and 5% crit. So exactly the same as this one. Now, we are going to be using the full Leto set. Unfortunately, this is not optional. You have to wear this set to meet the damage reduction milestone. I am then using the Tranquil Heart to gain 2.3 health regeneration. Now that I'm looking at this 5% here, we can remove this, get rid of it. It's completely pointless to us now. Let's go with elemental damage resistance. Bang. Beautiful. These are what you want to slot. You want to slot elemental damage resistance, increased armor, and increased health, because we are an armor and health tank. Over here, we have Twisted Idol. Increases armor and effectiveness by 30%, which allows us to get that 80% cap, and reduces encumbrance by 15, which allows us to heavy roll. Now moving on to Ring of the Robust, another increase to some armor with an additional 10 HP, which is lovely to have, but mainly we are using this for its armor. Over here, this one is totally optional. I just wanted a little bit extra health, but honestly, you can slot anything you want in this section. Now, these two rings need to go together. So this is Ring of Crisis, when where it drops below 25% health. Gain a shield for 25% of maximum health lasts 10 seconds. Now, that maximum health is calculated on the total health. So for my case, 214, 25% of that will be turned into shield, which is rather massive, which is why I chose to increase my health. Now, when a shield is active, regenerates 3% of max HP per second while shield is active. Again, going off the total health, 3% of the total health. We are using the Bulldog as our weapon. You can pretty much use whatever you want for weapons. I choose the Bulldog for now, as its damage is consistent, and we are using the Fargazer for bosses. Now, this one here, we are going to change this real quickly. Is this the right one? I might already have the right one equipped. Yes, I do have the right one equipped already. Good on me. All right. Shield Breaker. Melee attacks grant a shield for 2% of max health. Now, if you remember, when we have a shield, we generate 3% of max health per second. So when you're in melee range, you can just do one quick swing and boom, you have a shield, you're regenerating 3% of maximum health, increasing your regeneration amazingly. Next, we have the Enigma. Just straight up Enigma. It's a great weapon. It has been nerfed, but it's still one of the best weapons in the game. I'm running Refunder with this one. Usually you would run Bandit, but I am using a Bulldog, and I find that Bandit is more useful to me on the Bulldog due to the consistent uptime and consistent spam of the shots. Moving over to traits, you can see it on the side here, but I'll just show you this. We have the equipped engrams traits. We have potency, consumable duration, and triage, 50% healing effectiveness. We have equipped regrowth from the alchemist. We have fortify from the engineer. We have untouchable from the invader. We have full vigor. We have 6 points into fitness to allow us to increase our invade distance. This is very good for some of the bosses that seem to have a little bit more reach than they should. We have Shade Skin to increase our elemental damage reduction. That, if you remember the rune, that is 30% elemental resistance or elemental damage reduction. And we have Siphoner just to keep our health consistently being topped up. We haven't really touched the spirit or expertise because this is a tank build. Now, I'll show you how it is. This is Apocalypse. We're going to see if we can round up some enemies. Now, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be possible to be as tanky as it was prior patch. But this is the best I could do and the best we could get. So we're going to go ahead and take a bit of damage. As you can see, I was getting killed by these, like, super fast. And if we want, just hit them, get our shield back up, get that regen going, and boom, popping our healing skill. Again, completely tanky. And we pop our alchemist skill right here. I'm going to quickly show, once I get rid of these bad boys, what skills I'm using. I don't believe I covered that. This should be fine. Alright, the skills are Stone Mist, which I only really use to get rid of stagger, because stagger on some certain boss fights are absolute nightmare. And over here we have Healing Shield, which of course adds a bunch of regeneration, but also applies a instant shield, which also triggers our generating band. This is as tanky as you can possibly get at this point in time. As far as I'm aware, if you find any tankier builds, please let me know in the comment section below, because I want my tank back. I was so sad about the update this morning. Hopefully this eases the pain for a lot of you guys, and I hope to make some more videos in the future. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.